Welcome back to this week's GCN Tech Clinic, where we pick out the questions you've been submitting in the comments section down below using the hashtag AskGCNTech. Well, and we try to offer the best advice we possibly can.
We do.
So let's go straight in to our first question. So this question is from Florian Heigl, who says, "Hi GCN Tech crew, I'm shopping for some latex inner tubes, and there's a 19 to 23 option and a 25 to 28 option. They say they run 23mm tyres, which effectively is almost 26mm wide on aero wheels. Which size should I go for? Is it better to go too small or too big and risk them bunching up?" Kindly, they've also put a little note at the bottom there to help with the pronunciation of the name, which I did get correctly.
Well, I hope you did. It'd be embarrassing if with that help we still got it wrong. But we do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Basically, I would use the slightly smaller size inner tube. I think the difference between the sizes is like 1 or 2mm. I wouldn't worry about it. The smaller size inner tube is also going to be a little bit lighter, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Basically, there isn't a wrong option to pick, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. Just go with what Alex says.
Yeah. Hit us with the next question, man.
Next question is from Out and About and Cooking with Astana Gill.
Wow, what a username.
Hi, I made it to the
you're in the question.
intro.
Yeah.
Hi Manon, Ollie and Alex. How many times can you use a sealant in an inner tube?
A number of times. Yeah.
As many times as it lets you until it runs out, basically, and then you can just top it up. But if you do have quite a big punch or it's quite a big hole and the sealant just doesn't work, you will need to then just start again with a new inner tube.
Yeah, that is a really good point. Also, crucial point to note, if you've been using a sealant in your inner tube and then you put a new tube in, check the tyre hasn't got thorns still in it, because you could just puncture your new inner tube.
Yeah. With it, so if you did a top up of sealant, does it have to be exactly the same brand?
Yeah, you should use the same one.
Same brand.
Yeah,
you can't mix and match.
Not good to mix and match.
Okay.
Good point to raise. Thanks very much.
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, just helping the people out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Next question is from Xavier Sio? Okay, says, "Should we point out carcasses on the road whilst riding?" Yes, absolutely. Yes, of course you should. You should point out all road hazards, including carcasses. And I have a interesting and somewhat pointless bit of information here for you.
Here we go.
Don't say it like that. I was out
riding
riding with a friend of mine once, and they did ride over a dead pigeon, and they actually got a puncture, presumably on one of the little bones of the pigeon.
Oh, that's not very nice.
It's a little bit gross, but it does serve an important fact. Point out carcasses. You don't want anyone to have a puncture.
Definitely. Oh.
Sorry about that. I've lowered the tone
it's a bit grim, but yeah, definitely point them out.
Next question. Do you go with this one?
Next question is in from the
PYMP?
PYMP.
Yeah.
Hi GCN Tech. Is it worth fitting mudguards in anticipation for the winter season? 100% yes. And it's quite sad to think that we are getting into winter and we're going to have to wrap up in 100 layers and put mudguards on. But yes, having full mudguards on your bike, you can have front and back mudguards, keeps your bike so much cleaner, you won't believe it. And it also keeps you dry. So when it is raining, and even when it's not and you've still got surface water on the road and you have spray spraying up, your legs won't get as wet and your bum won't get wet. Because no one wants a wet chamois on a bike ride when you're sitting in that for hours.
Don't want a soggy bottom.
No, don't.
Just the same as when you're baking. No soggy bottoms on your cakes.
Baker Alex over there. Great tip. And what else is there? And also, when you're riding with other people, having mudguards on is going to be so much more pleasant for them as well. They're going to be fighting for your wheel. And lastly, if you don't want full mudguards, you can just get an arse saver, which is a tiny bit of plastic basically that goes under your seat and it keeps your bottom dry. And we do sell them over on the GCN shop, so if you do fancy treating yourself to one, I'd definitely go and recommend buying one.
Good thinking, I like that. Yeah. Next question is from Dave Eastlick, who says, "Hi GCN, can you explain what a pinch flat is, aka a snakebite?"
Is that another word for it?
Yeah, snakebite. So
I haven't heard that. Oh, because I guess it's the two.
Yeah, like as if it's the fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. A good demonstration of that. So yeah, pinch flat or a snakebite puncture is effectively when you've got the road surface, the tyre has been compressed and the inner tube has been pinched between the two high spots of the rim surface. And the reason for that is you've gone through a pothole, for example.
Or just hit something.
Yeah, hit into a curb, or that your tyre is a little bit underinflated. So to try and avoid that, you need to avoid the same 2 things. Avoid riding through potholes, avoid running into curbs, and pump your tyres up a little bit harder.
Yeah,
Simple.
Fun, very pointless story. I got a pinch flat in a cross race once, and I did it every lap. It was like a pothole that I kind of rode through, and every time I went through it, my tyre was just getting flatter and flatter.
Oh no.
Yeah, hit it every time.
Well,
I had to do a bike change in the end.
If only you'd have submitted the question
I know.
weeks before that into the GCN Tech
I would have
Clinic.
known not to go down that pothole.
Next question in is from Seb G, who says, if a person is, that's a long question this. If a person is over 5 kilograms over their ideal weight based on their gender, height and age, is it cheaper to lose 5 kilograms from their weight than lose 5 kilograms on the weight of their bike? A 12 kilogram bike is generally less than $1,000, whereas a 7 kilogram bike is around $2,000 or more. Losing weight usually requires eating less, which can even save money, they say.
Where's this question going?
Just stick with this for a second. A heavier bike may also help a person burn more calories, strengthen muscle, since it requires more effort. Once a person has optimised their own body weight, then it is time to spend money on making a bike lighter or more aero. So all I want to say for that is thanks very much for submitting your question and also answering your own question in the same comment. Made my life super easy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, okay, Madeline, hit us with the last question.
Yep, last question from Games 2012. I've got a 1128 cassette with a Shimano Ultegra R6800 short cage rear mech. If I want to change to an 1132 or 34, do I need to get a new derailleur or can I just change the cage and perhaps get an oversized pulley wheel at the same time? What do we think, Alex?
What would I do in that situation? So I have thought about this a number of times before, bizarrely. It's the sort of stuff I think about. I think, unfortunately, you're going to have to get a completely new rear derailleur. I think the difference in the derailleurs between the long cage and the short cage isn't purely on the cage. I think the main body itself is slightly different. Now, if it was me, I'd be tempted to try and just change the part over to save having to buy a whole new derailleur, but I can't guarantee that that'll work 100%. So if you want to play it safe, you're going to have to buy a whole new long cage rear derailleur.
Try it first and then see if it doesn't work.
Try it first and let us know in the comment section down below. But yeah, my advice is you're probably going to have to change the entire derailleur to make sure that the gears work perfectly fine. And well, that's it for this week's GCN Tech Clinic. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for sending in your questions. And if you have any more tech-related questions, or not even tech-related questions, let us know and we'll do our best to answer them.
See ya.